Royalty in disguise. Put your fist up in the skies. Royalty in disguise. Put your fist up in.
Greetings, I'm Camson the Oracle, the founder of Newverse Live, and I want to share with you an intuitive energy update. We're being given the opportunity for accelerated growth. Things are about to change, and we're going down the roller coaster. We've been creeping up to the top, and it's about to accelerate, so get ready. For those of us who grew up feeling chronically unsafe, even if we can't pinpoint an external reason for this emotion, it may be coming up in certain areas of your life for reasons you don't understand. And this is the subconscious mind. This is its attempt to create some form of security, which triggers the ego. And some of the big things that we are being challenged with right now is the lack of self-worth. People who have discovered, shadow aspects of ourselves that maybe we repressed, forgotten about, we tend to attract that energy outside of us in every form, especially relationships, because the universe is a mirror and it's attempting to allow us the opportunity to grow and to learn. If our ability to make decisions is difficult because we are fearful of uncertainty, we tend to attract partners who are controlling. Oftentimes the forms of control are overt, but they can also be covert. And this form of control shows up as passive aggressiveness, explosive anger, self-loathing, behaviors that they use to gain control over other people's actions. Now, I know this is an immature way of getting needs met. I have been there. However, there are some individuals that don't know that this is how they get needs met because they lack emotional intelligence. And this is no fault to any one person in this conversation. This intuitive update is not about blame. The purpose in this conversation is to help inspire mature resolutions to these issues that have plagued us probably for a long time. In my personal life, I attracted partners and situations that would either try to control me in a covert way or restrict me, sometimes enable me in habits that are not great for me in the long run. And this was upsetting, but I had to face the fact that these were aspects of my shadow self inside of me. Now, being a recovering codependent that I am, okay, I knew how to love hard and be kind, patient, compassionate, and give until I had nothing left. This is what I call the good girl syndrome, and it eroded away at my self-worth. After making sacrifice after sacrifice and not really being appreciated or reciprocated in the way that I felt I deserved, because I attracted emotionally unavailable partners. I attracted jobs and bosses who didn't appreciate my work. I even attracted physicians who were dismissive towards me when I would express something that was happening within my body, even if I was accurate. Okay. And I couldn't figure out the energetics of this. So in my life, this demonstration was a reflection of what I tucked away and repressed. And as we are collectively being triggered to pay attention to our patterns, one of the most effective ways to change what you attract, as Jupiter, the planet of expansion, just a few minutes ago, moved into Taurus. This is a great time to get clear on our self-worth, to receive the upgrade we're being offered, to be able to accept this invitation, this initiation, even though it is new terrain and is uncertain. It is here to serve us. On the old earth, women were glorified for putting their needs last and putting others first. But at what expense? Putting others before myself was chronic. And it was one of the strategies that I used to be safe that I developed as a child. And these strategies have an expiration date. When we try to use them beyond the expiration date, that's when you really start getting in what I call the terror story territory, where you just keep attracting, seems like, what you are doing everything you can to banish. So I'm going to share with you one of the strategies that I use to help me with this. Super simple. 2 things. You're going to write down your strengths. Write down the things that you notice that are great about you. And these strengths, this list, make it as long as you can. This list you're going to refer to as a form of validation from yourself, to yourself, for yourself. You're also going to make a list of your biggest challenges, your frustrations, your triggers. Pay attention to certain situations and conversations and even thoughts that trigger or create a reactivity within you, or you just begin to feel your mood shift. And what you're going to do, whenever you feel that trigger, refer back to your list of strengths to see, is there anything on here that I could lean into that would soothe me in this moment? These 2 simple techniques that you can use help you to hone in on the parts of you that are valuable. This allows you to increase your worth. And when you increase your worth, you begin to manifest with less effort. You attract a life of more ease. And you will notice the difference in the way you feel about yourself. Now, this exercise is one of I probably got 4,000 exercises and notes that I'm compiling. I'm putting guides together for people like me who are empathic, who are children that grew up with adverse traumatic events happening in their life, people who maybe are recovering from narcissistic abuse, or maybe you narcissistic yourself, any personality disorder. All of these things are effects of trauma. And I take the shadow aspects of my experiences and I create strategies to convert them into simple exercises that can be used to not only find a positive reframe, to pivot your perception and focus, because energy goes wherever our attention flows. So if you're paying more attention to your value, you're paying attention to the shadow aspects that are coming up, and you're using them as fuel to create the life that you deserve, to write new verses so that you are no longer singing the sad song of whatever generational trauma you may be chosen to end. It's true. And because we are so innovative and so genius at being able to create justifications and avoid feeling uncomfortable feelings, because maybe we are already overwhelmed with life and it's just a lot awakening. That can be to our detriment when we're just persistently treading in this same muddy water, right? And there's a clear brook bubbling right beside us and we don't notice it because we're so focused on the terror story. We're focused on whatever we're treading in that muddy water. Turning shadows into superpowers happens just like this. You pivot and you learn to leverage your weaknesses, transmute your trauma to transcend many of the coping mechanisms into something that is actually beneficial, healthy, and it doesn't just improve your life and the way you feel about you, but it can also inspire others. And with each of us allowing this energy that is coming in to surround us with more self-love, improve our self-care routines, investing in ourselves to increase our self-worth. We're shifting paradigms together when we do that. And I don't want to make the big energy sound scary, because big energy do sometimes evoke fear in me. Okay? Making myself small was a survival tactic. And it sometimes still happens. And I might seem super confident right now while I'm talking, but trust and believe, I have moments where I feel like I need somebody to get a spatula and scoop me up off of the floor. And let me tell you, it's okay. It is okay to not be okay. It is okay to be a hot mess if that's what you need to be. When you have tools, a community, and strategies to support you, those moments are not moments that you avoid. They are moments that you actually begin to appreciate because you know how to leverage them. All right. So I'm going to be doing a free webinar because this energy right here, I love watching people blossom. And I love being a part of that. Even if I'm not, it's great. But if I'm a part of that, even better, because this is what my heart genuinely loves to do. Help other people to accomplish what I have accomplished. And I don't talk about my accomplishments that much. I will be talking about them more. I have an aversion to that. Again, being small is a comfort zone, right? But my accomplishments are pretty epic. And I have survived a very, very dramatic life. I'm talking about a movie. Any movie you ever seen that had you in tears? Yep, been there, did that. I played all the roles. I did. And I appreciate it all and don't have not one regret. How did I get to this place in my life? Right? So that's what I want to share with you. We're going to be having a webinar, Turning Shadows into Superpowers. And my goal is to just simplify the spiritual awakening for you and give you tools and strategies. This is a free webinar and you're going to get so much information. So be sure to head to newverselive.com to sign up. And before you leave, you already know I got a freebie for you. I'm putting together something so special, so sweet. I'm actually going to just post a picture of it. And I will talk to you more about this soon. But during the webinar, I'm going to give you this freebie to help keep you on track. So this conversation did something for you, soothed something inside of you, maybe even affirmed the person you're becoming, maybe even your worth increased just a little bit, maybe even a lot. Conversations change the world. Conversations help us to transform. So that freebie is going to be during this free webinar. This is like free on free. Like, who don't like free, right? And I want to know, what was your biggest takeaway from this conversation? Because this dialogue, this is not a monologue. This is a dialogue for the collective, okay? Your energy is calling for these transformations just as mine is. And I'm excited to know what you get from this. I expect to see you. And hopefully, when I see you, you coming fully ready to accept the fact that you are great just as you are. And these improvements that you are being offered is just making you greater. It just gets good and gooder and gooder and gooder and gooder. Man, your third eye has just been kissed. Namaste. Namaste. Ashe. One love.